speed is equivalent to like a character you haven't really increased their speed with haste, pretty much.
Doubling the speed or plus
I don't actually know.
Yeah, I don't know offhand.
It's difficult because you can't really look at their speed stat while they have haste on and see the number, you know? So you'd probably have to read the memory. I don't think it's doubling, because that would make Chrono absurdly fast, and he doesn't get quite that fast.
You have to slow the battle speed down and take advantage of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or berserk him.
Well, that's actually kind of important to mention, because the trick that's coming up that we've been avoiding explaining this entire time only works on certain battle speeds. It's actually part of the setup that you need to be using.
Let's see what happens.
I wasn't even referring to this fight, so it's not like I mentioned that and then Essentio was forgetting.
Had all this wait time by half.
Tutorials aren't always accurate in RPGs, though.
Also, in RPGs, they'll often say half when they mean increasing by 50%. Especially with poor translations.
Okay. I need to get 10 falcon hits.
Yeah, each form of Lavos has 10,000 more HP than the last one.
I'm used to doing this at battle speed 6, not 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many am I at now?
This is 5. It's one of the reasons why Ayla is very useful. She has very high health.
Gotta be.
Oh my
This
god,
is
yeah.
crazy.
Oh!
Really?
So close.
And we don't have the green dream equipped yet for that fight, so...
Well,
on Marley.
Marley already
Yeah.
used it, so she could survive the first destruction
Oh my
rain.
gosh.
So
Can't
normally
believe that
Essentia
happened.
slows down the battle speed on that fight, because as you can see, she was really close to getting the last Falcon hit off, but the destruction came down first. But on fast battle speed, it's extremely tight getting that last turn in. It is possible, but it's really risky if you waste even just too many frames, because at the max battle speed, you miss quite a bit of battle time on
Yeah.
battle speed 6. So you could see she was getting the menu open just before the second person be up, and then trying to get as close to frame perfect on the Falcon hits as she
I
could.
should have healed that last round.
1 second to read a donation.
Go
You,
ahead.
Yeah.
you could have quite a bit.
Yeah, we have to. Unfortunately, there's no way
hopefully
to
this
save.
will not.
there,
Hopefully, this
so-
will at least soothe the wounds a little bit. We have a $24 donation from Kiro that says, "I have one thing to say: XY up down." And with that, there will be suplex and trains.
Woohoo!
Unfortunately, there's no real way to set up a save anywhere glitch here to save partway through this Lavos fight.
Yeah, because
So we have-
there's a save point at the end of time, and
Yeah.
anytime you enter a field that has a save point, it deactivates the glitch.
Yeah. So she could set one up previously, but then it would deactivate. And if you could get save anywhere glitch, you could save after all of these shell fights. But
I'd almost wonder if there'd be some way to skip skip parts of this or something if you could use the save anywhere glitch. But,
That would be interesting.
there is a way to skip Lava's shell that a TAS is able to do though by
really,
it's something like activating all of the time portals at the end of time at this, like somehow tricking the game into activating them all at the same time, and then
Really?
the game gets confused and then sends you inside Lavos' shell.
It's a very complicated glitch, and it's pretty much impossible outside of tasks.
that's one of those absurdly frame perfect things where you're hitting multiple things at the same time.
Yeah, because like there's a new TAS that's only like barely over 2 hours long,
Oh
I
my
think,
God.
because of being able to skip. Because Retinite is the final boss, basically, in that TAS. So.
So we were on the verge of explaining the glitch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we've got a little bit more time to kill because we have to go through the shell again.
Mm-hmm.
That was very close, though. Essentia almost pulled that off, even at battle speed 1, which would have been very impressive.
A good kind of that's never happened before.
Yeah.
I was actually supposed to bring in Marley instead of Ayla.
Like, you can get an idea by watching Ayla and Chrono's ATB bar when they're at this kind of speed. Like, they were on haste before, so it even exacerbates the problem, but even just few too many frames with them being full ATB and not using their abilities on battle speed 1 just allows Lavos to get that extra turn.
Yeah. Because in this game, the battle speed actually affects you as well as enemies too.
Like 6.
And 5, yeah. 4 is different though. In fact, like in the Japanese 4 run, it's really it uses Berserk really, really heavily, just because going to battle speed 1 and berserking removes the element of you having to wait for your turn to come up and select attack.
Yeah.
Also gives you a bit of a power boost there.
Yes.
Yep. I just like because their strat for Demon's Wall actually involves berserking Rosa at one point, just because she doesn't have anything else to do, so they berserk her.
Who's this guy again?
Yeah, some guy in the intro, just like a demo monster.
So tutorial fight?
Yeah, is he the one that gets frog smashed, or was that? I think. Oh, that was just
No.
some monsters in Magus's castle.
No, yeah.
Yeah, Zombor gets ice sorted.
Yeah.
I think it was Brosencha actually once that sent me a picture, or tweeted a picture of like concept art for the game that showed Marley and Chrono doing Fire Sword on Hekran, which is where the cover artwork for the game came from. Even though, because it doesn't make any sense, the cover
Yeah.
artwork, why Marley and Chrono would be doing Fire Sword. One of my favorite things you can do here is to try to use Slurp Cut on Lavos too, just because then Frog gets stuck and then pulled into the face, and then you hear this big Kong sound when he bounces off.
I really like the attention to detail with that. With
Yeah.
Lavos is too big to pull towards him with his tongue.
Yep.
In a lot of games, they just would have not done anything and had it look really silly.
Mm-hmm.
You could really kind of go either way on that one. Did it look really silly?
Yeah.
Did the
Hey, because
monster
hey,
look really
you can
silly?
suplex the Phantom Train. I mean, why not Slurp Cut Lavos? You can suplex the cranes too, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet that looks really silly.
Yeah. I'll have to do that sometime tonight when I'm practicing. Because I don't think I've ever actually done it before.
I've never done it. I didn't even know you could.
Sabin's just that strong.
Yep, he lifts.
Sabin does definitely lift.
I don't think you can suplex Kefka though, unfortunately.
Oh.
Because suplex is actually something that every enemy in the game has either is or is not susceptible to, and you can look at.
It's a separate flag for it.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Another status that that every enemy might be immune to: Magitech. Like the Ice Dragon is immune to Magitech status according to the game data.
That's wow.
Magic status.
Yes. What's
What do you
that?
mean?
Yeah. Everything's better with Magitech,
Clearly.
but not the Ice Dragon, which is why he needs to die.
I like how much setup is required for that. Everything's better with Magitech.
Mm-hmm. I need to practice that too.
Using water on us.
I think they could have worked on a little bit longer track of music for this one.
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's,
So long.
there's the full version of it that plays during the intro too that they could have used here.
Yeah. I'm not sure why they used the short loop of the song.
Maybe just because the full version doesn't really have a good place to loop. Just because it ends when the intro
True.
ends. I'd have been okay if they just stopped and started it over again, though. Or something.
I didn't take them
You could probably cheat that with a short track that like is a fake fade out that plays immediately afterwards and then leads into a loop.
Yeah. Or another thing. Oh, and in fact, they could have made it too, so that even if this loops this part, it goes on to the extended part when you get to True Lavos Core
True.
or True Lavos Shell, just to kind of heighten the tension.
Lots of fun you can have with game design.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're back and forth.
Yeah, one downside to the fact that most of the games that we play were made in Japan is that we can't get like dev commentary calls or anything like that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What is going on here? That was really weird. Frog it had 0 HP, but
But
his
he
thing was
wasn't
still
dead.
up.
Oh.
Was he just waiting for the animation to finish? Because
I
his
don't know.
health ticked down right when he started Fire Sword, I think.
Maybe that's what it
He
was.
probably can't fall over until the animation is done. Well, I have seen some weird things with people waiting to die in RPGs.
Yeah.
There's a
Well-
boss fight where there's a trigger where one of the 3 enemies knocks the other 2 out to do an attack.
Mm-hmm.
And if that gets triggered at the same time as one of those guys attacking, he can do that. Then one of them will fall over, the other one will walk up, hit you once, and then run back and fall
Yeah.
over.
Well, Final Fantasy VII is actually interesting like that because the death sentence status, if you have like the ATB on active, the timer is always counting down, but you will not actually die. But when the timer runs out, the next action is that person dying. But for gradual petrify status, when the timer runs out, they petrify immediately, and that led to, I think it was Carcinogen when I saw him playing once, actually double KO Demon's Gate because he his last character had gradual petrify and their timer run out during Demon's Gate's death animation.
Oh.
And he didn't win. He game overed because of that. So.
I'm trying to think of how I double KO'd on Chrono Cross recently. Oh, I had the Master Mune equipped on Lynx, and one of the things the Master Mune is when you use stamina, it heals him for the points of stamina used. So he was at low health, and I killed the boss, but he was poisoned at the same time. So I thought he would get enough health from the Master Mune to survive the poison tick, but he died by like 1 health. So the boss started his death animation, Lynx fell over, and then it went to the game over where those who try to... Fate has no mercy for those who try to fight against it.
Where are these rocks coming from, by the way? I'm kind of in the middle of a dimensional vortex.
Well, the whole thing is it's teleporting a rock in, right? So why does it matter if it's a different dimension?
Guess that works.
Ooh.
There is no rock.
What if Lavos is all in her mind?
Nom 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 nom.
Chomp. I need to grab some food after this run.
I'd be down for that. Yeah. Need to save the world, then we can eat.
Don't
Yes.
let me forget to turn the battle speed down. I would have had that battle.
You were so close.
I can't believe I made it that far on battle speed 1 though. That was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been severely impressed.
It's amazing what a Phoenix Down will bring you back from.
Getting eaten by a alien parasite. Getting your whole solar system destroyed by a supernova. Phoenix down.
Getting your whole solar system destroyed by a supernova, in some cases multiple times in the same fight.
Yep.
Down, all over again. Unless there's that dang plot armor in the way, right?
And those plot bullets.
Yep.
stops those items from working. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Well, the plot armor is bone mail in some cases, like on Galoof.
I think that's more of a plot weapon.
Plot shield deflection.
That works.
Ah.
You get to see that face again.
Yes.
Right person?
That comes after this.
This sounds after this
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
You're like scaring me there.
Look at the icon for Ayla's weapon in the menu. It's just a hand.
Yeah.
It's not even a fist. It's just open hand.
Yeah, if you get Ayla to a really high level, her hand actually changes to some kind of stronger form. I know that in the DS version they changed it so that you don't, because it's like level 70 something I think in the
Yeah.
Super Nintendo version. They lowered that pretty substantially in the DS version so that it's something you'd actually get to in a normal playthrough, which is
Well,
nice.
it takes quite a bit of effort to start getting levels once you get above to a certain point in this game.
I know if you want to max out your levels, I think the best place to do it is the Debuggist's conveyor belt and Genodome.
So I take it the slot if you max out your tech points, then you're...
Yes.
Oh, very, very much.
There's several points where you can grind enemies that die very quickly and give lots of tech points.
I mean, you want to learn all your techs, but getting to like max level, no, that's just a waste of time just to beat
I
the
think
game.
the one thing you want to try and get to max level for is
Oh, it's
to
red.
fight
It's
this-
red new Spikio. Yeah.
Yeah, Red New Spikio. When you get to level 99, Spikio gets his hardest form for battling him, and I don't remember what you get for beating him.
Lots of tabs and stuff that you won't need because of being
Yeah.
level 99.
Yeah, because you'll be at that
Yeah.
level, the tabs won't help a whole lot.
Yeah, that's the game's super boss basically.
Yeah.
It's red new Spikio.
But it's kind of annoying in that way because you can't even fight him unless you're max level, as opposed to some other games where you can fight the super boss at a lower level with some really good setup and still beat them.
Yeah.
As sort of like a challenge thing.
Whereas he doesn't even appear.
Yeah, he doesn't appear because Spikio's form changes depending on your level and battle speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see she switches all the way to 6 out of 8 in battle speed, which is pretty close to the slowest it gets. Even with her characters being that fast, because you just need that extra time since this is a pretty tight strategy. You're trying to get in before one of Lavos' turns at the end.
You see a big difference in their ATV bars.
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
how long they take to fill up.
But you'll see that the animation for the ATV bar is still a smooth animation, which means you're not really in that position where you could lose a bit of time because it fills up too fast. On Battle Speed 1, it was just jumping, and you could get into a situation where the ATV fills, and the first frame where you had them full, the Lavos got a few extra ticks on his own turn without you being able to do anything about it.
I think that spine attack right there is the only real kind of random element in this strategy, just because you really want it to kill. Because Marley's only real use here is to haste Chrono and Ayla
Yeah.
so that they can get lots of Falcon hits off in between Lavos' turns, and then she's basically just useless after that. So if she gets taken out by those spines, that means you don't have to heal either Chrono or Ayla. That means more turns for using Falcon Head.
Also, not having to spend a turn healing them makes it possible to try and skip one of Lavos' turns.
Now I'm getting a lot more turns in.
Yeah. It's because on Battle Speed 1, when your characters are that fast, your ATB bar is filling faster than the frame rate of the game. But if you imagine the boss to have an ATB bar as well, you can be in a situation where the boss gets a bunch of extra ATB even if you select your tech on the first available frame. So he just gets more turns when it's going that fast.
Ordinarily, that's still worth it, just because you
Yeah.
you get to attack sooner and it saves time. But on the final battles, it's not because of how tight the strategy is.
Yeah, we're so low level that these are really precise strategies designed around minimizing the number of turns that the boss gets.
Right.
Yes.
That's how it's supposed to go.
And here's where we finally explain the glitch, I guess.
Let's let
Are
her
we
do
gonna
it.
show
Let's
it
let her
first?
do
Okay.
it, and then we'll explain it during the ending, I guess. Because we have time for the ending, because it's quite short in this run.
It is important that, like I said earlier, very specific battle speeds get used here. Because of what I was explaining with the ATB,
Mm-hmm.
we need very specific ATB values for this to work.
And very specific speed values,
Yes.
too. And a specific RNG setup going into it.
Yeah. You have the heartbeat again.
Mm-hmm.
It is really nice that
Okay,
when he gets
now
this
I've
point.
got to listen
All
here
right.
so I can. Okay, hopefully that did it.
Unlike the Magus Castle one, though, she's going to know right away if she got it or not.
Yeah. Based on the starting ATB value.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment the battle starts and you can see the bars, she'll be able to tell if she got it or not.
That looks right. Should do 2,046 damage to Chrono.
Yay!
Nice.
Okay, now if you watch, he gets up, then he's gonna fall down and get back up real quick. That means that it worked.
Bye-bye! But we're not done yet.
Still not done yet.
Yep. So we'll explain that elixir glitch after Lavos Core, but you want to keep an eye out too, just because you're not you're meant to go directly to the Lavos Core battle at this point, but there's another glitch you can use to actually open the menu during the screen transition before the Lavos Core battle starts, and that's required in order to actually be able to finish the run. You have a couple frames where you can press the menu button and open the menu after the screen fades completely to black.
I think on 100% you can get away with not getting it.
Yeah, you don't. It's not required in
But
100%, but because you have to move the green dream to Marley, so if you don't get it in any percent, you die.
Yeah, and 80% it's absolutely required.
Got it.
Very nice. We all stopped talking there so she could hear the music.
Yeah.
You have to push X at just the right time to get it.
And with a lot of those things, music cues are the most common way for people to get that.
It's also important here not to do anything while you're waiting for Lavos' bits to attack, just because that affects the RNG. Oh, and Ayla just kind of fell over because of the glitch where the the leftmost character takes like a couple points of damage during a time change,
Yeah.
which matters when you have 1 hit point.
And the reason why essentially has to move in a very particular way with her actions is because depending on which time warp